Have you ever stared at a silent phone and felt your entire world hanging in that dark void, wondering if his quiet means he's slipping away forever? What if that very silence is not rejection, but the sacred moment a man finally meets his own soul through the fire of loving you? She sits in the dim glow of the screen, heart racing with unanswered questions. Yesterday, his voice flowed like warm honey. Today, there's only stillness, a heavy, unnamed shift in the air that makes her stomach twist. Doubts flood in. Did he lose interest? Did she reveal too much? Is this the end? But what if this hush is not distance at all? What if it's depth forming in secret? There exists a silence that does not sever connection. It births it. It is the breathless pause before an unspoken truth rises from the unseen. Men, more than anyone, dwell in this kind of quiet. They were trained to fix, to conquer, to master, never to feel. So when a man truly begins to feel, deeply, wildly, uncontrollably, everything inside him trembles. His carefully built walls shake. His logic blurs. His control wavers. Instead of rushing toward the awakening inside his chest, he slows. He retreats, not to flee, but to breathe. Falling in love for a man is not always fire and pursuit. Sometimes it is confusion, a hidden war between what he feels and what he was taught a man should be. And that war is fought in silence. Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, warned us, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That is exactly what is happening when he suddenly grows quiet. Something buried, ancient fears, tender longings he never dared name, is rising to meet the light you unknowingly shine on him. This is not rejection. This is revelation. He is not ignoring you. He is encountering himself for the very first time through the mirror of what you make him feel. For a man who has lived behind armor all his life, standing this close to real emotion feels like standing at the edge of a blazing flame, beautiful, alive, but dangerously consuming. So he steps back, not because he doesn't care, but because he's terrified of being burned by something authentic, something that could finally melt him. His silence is not absence. It is awakening. And some of the deepest awakenings begin in retreat. If you're feeling these truths deep in your chest right now, hit that subscribe button on SYC Soul, like this video, turn on notifications so you never miss the next soul-shaking upload, and quickly tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from tonight? Let's keep going. Inside that silence you think is cold, there is actually fire, movement, questions, reflection, the slow dismantling of everything he was taught strength must look like. He is not gone. He is transforming. And perhaps, just perhaps, his quiet is not goodbye. It is the first inhale before he finally learns how to stay. He was raised to believe control equals safety, to keep every emotion locked neatly behind reason, to hold the fortress together at any cost. But real love does not negotiate with control. It shatters it gently, relentlessly. In the beginning, being with you was effortless, charm, rhythm, words that danced. Then something shifted. Your presence began touching places he had no language for, places that refused to obey logic. When a man starts feeling this deeply, his first instinct is not always to run toward you. Sometimes it is to shield what is suddenly exposed, because raw emotion is an endless ocean, and he spent decades learning to stay safely on the shore. That is the hidden current beneath what looks like distance. The mind commands, stay composed. The heart pleads, let her in. When those two forces collide, silence becomes survival. He begins asking questions he never had to face before. What if I get hurt again? What if she sees the real me beneath the mask? What if I'm not enough? These questions do not make him weak. They make him gloriously human. Carl Jung wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." That is the sacred ache he is living right now. Not the pain that destroys, but the pain that opens, that births something new. He is not pulling away because he stopped caring. He is trying to understand what caring truly means, now that it has weight, now that it is real. He is reconciling the man he pretended to be with the man love is calling him to become. In that silence, the old armor begins to loosen. His soul whispers something terrifying and beautiful. You cannot control this one. You can only feel her. And that vulnerability scares him more than anything, because for most of his life, power meant distance. Yet you make him feel powerful and defenseless in the same breath. So he slows down. He replays your laughter, your softness, your words inside his mind like sacred verses. While you wonder why he disappeared, he is somewhere trying to steady himself against the tidal pull of something eternal. He is not falling out of love. He is falling deeper than he ever thought possible. And the deeper a man falls, the quieter he becomes. Because true silence is where men finally wrestle with truths they can no longer escape. If these words are stirring something in your soul, drop a comment and let me know. Are you connecting with Carl Jung's wisdom right now? Tell me where you're watching from. Keep listening. Most men carry invisible armor forged from expectation, fear, and ancient stories about what strength must look like. Piece by piece it was built. Every time they swallowed emotion, every time they were told to man up, every time softness was labeled weakness. But when real love arrives, it doesn't knock. It presses its warm hand against the cold metal, searching for cracks. It sees straight through the performance, the calm mask, the jokes that deflect pain. And that is when everything inside him begins to tremble. He doesn't retreat because he is heartless. He retreats because something sacred in him is breaking open. And for the first time, he is not sure if breaking is bad. You touched something unguarded, something holy, and that contact both heals and terrifies him. Carl Jung said again, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Right now, love is forcing everything unconscious to the surface. The wounded boy, the abandoned child, the man who never felt safe being truly seen. Your presence wakes them all. His mind screams to rebuild the walls faster, but his heart knows those walls are the reason he never tasted peace. So he pauses in silence, standing on the battlefield between safety and surrender. One voice roars, stay guarded. Another whispers, you can trust this one? If you could hear his thoughts, they would sound like this. She makes me feel things I can't control. I want to tell her everything, but I don't know the words. What if she sees who I really am? That is the ache beneath his silence, the terror of being seen too deeply, too soon. Yet even in the fear, he never lets you go. He replays the songs that remind him of you, rereads your messages like scripture, whispers your name in the dark like a secret prayer. He is not ignoring you. He is reorganizing his entire heart so there is finally room for something real. Because love is not just finding someone. It is meeting every part of yourself you buried just to survive. And in you, he is meeting them all. The silence stops feeling like confusion and begins feeling like sacred reflection. He realizes love is not just emotion, it is confrontation, a merciless mirror held up to every hidden fear. Every past relationship was safe, surface, predictable. But your calm makes him feel dangerously seen. And being seen means he can no longer hide. Are you feeling this in your bones? Tell me in the comments where you're watching from tonight. Let's keep walking deeper. Carl Jung taught that there is no coming to consciousness without pain. And right now, he is living that holy truth. The silence you hear is the sound of a man finally waking up to his own art, to his own tenderness, to his own limitless capacity for love. He sits alone at night, scrolling through your messages, typing replies and deleting them, typing again, pausing, not playing games, but hunting for courage. Because to a man who lived in control, love feels like standing barefoot in sacred fire that burns away every defense he ever built. Yet slowly, quietly, he begins to understand. Feeling everything is not weakness. It is the gateway to truth. The silence becomes his cocoon, the place where he wrestles with everything love has awakened in him. And you, without even trying, became the divine catalyst. When he finally returns, it is not with grand speeches or dramatic gestures, just small, quiet consistencies that speak louder than any confession ever could. He shows up differently now, slower, gentler, more intentional. The armor hasn't vanished, but it has loosened. He is learning to set it down when he is with you. You notice it in the way he listens, not to reply, but to truly understand. The way he remembers something tiny you said weeks ago. The way his eyes linger, as if he is memorizing peace for the very first time. He is no longer performing love. He is practicing it. He is no longer trying to impress you. He is trying to reach you. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. That irreversible reaction has already happened. Your calm became his mirror, reflecting not perfection, but raw, beautiful truth. And truth always transforms whatever it touches. He no longer hides behind composure. He moves through it. Each time he reaches for your hand, it is with deeper awareness. Each time he speaks, his voice carries the weight of a man who has walked through fire and come out softer. Love did not heal him in one dramatic moment. It taught him how to heal himself. Your steadiness gave him permission to stop performing and start becoming. If these words are landing straight in your heart, quickly type where you're watching from. I want to know who's here with me tonight. One final part coming. Now the journey turns to you, because this story was never only about how he learns to love. It is about how you learn to wait without abandoning yourself. It is about the quiet, ferocious power that lives inside your patience, the grace that does not chase, but trusts. You felt that ache, didn't you? The urge to text again, to explain, to fill the silence before it swallowed you. But something wiser whispered, "Stay still." Your stillness is not weakness, it is ancient wisdom. Your calm became his sanctuary. While he wrestled with his shadows, your peace told his soul, "You can rest here." Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." You are both awakening through the mirror of each other. He is learning to feel. You are learning the depth of your own strength. Real love was never meant to make you smaller. It was meant to remind you that you were whole all along. When you can stand in perfect peace while someone else trembles, you become the ground that holds the storm. That is the quiet miracle. You did not fix him. You simply stayed still long enough for him to finally see himself. You are becoming the woman who measures love not by noise, but by resonance, by the way a connection can feel steady even when it is silent. Sometimes the most powerful thing a woman can do is breathe in her truth and let love find her when it is ready. The shadow does not vanish when love arrives. It steps forward and asks to be loved. Your presence gave his shadow permission to speak. And in that speaking, both of you are becoming whole. This is individuation, Jung's word for the sacred process of integrating every exiled part of the soul. Love, when it is real, invites this integration. It asks for the fragile truths as much as the shining ones. It asks for presence over performance. The silence that once stung now feels like a holy room where tenderness gathers courage. You no longer rush to fill it. You honor it. You let it teach you how to stay open. What grows between you now is not a performance. It is a daily practice, a soft exchange of "I see you. I am here." A living love that breathes, that learns, that becomes. If a certain face appeared in your mind while listening to this, place your hand on your heart right now. Thank it for carrying you through the waiting. Thank it for never letting you shrink. What is truly yours will always find you in the calm. If this video touched your soul tonight, do 3 things for me right now. Subscribe to SYC Soul, like this video, Hit the bell so you never miss these late-night heart awakenings. And share this with someone who needs to hear that their silence is not an ending. It's a becoming. I love you. Stay soft. Stay true. I'll see you in the next one. Breathe.